Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 177.
177.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by Theme Park Connection in Orlando, Florida.
Theme Park Connection has Figments this week. It's a big Figment week. Lots of sales on Figment materials, memorabilia, things of that nature. Merchandise,
and
yes.
like vintage stuff too. So it's, I guess if you look at the Theme Park Connection website, you'll find out more about it.
When we were there, I saw a preview of all these
Was
Figments.
it a lot?
There was a Figment clock I would love to have here in the office. It's really cool. So anyway, they have a lot of cool stuff. And also, I should mention, Figment will be part of the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival merchandise this year as well.
And I'm very excited about that, of course. And PixieVacations.com, they are our official travel agency. They can help you with any sort of trip, Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise, right? And not even just Disney, Universal, or anywhere else. So we do recommend them.
And also Maple Leaf Tickets, our official ticket agency, the best deals on tickets in town. Make sure you check them out. We're going to start off the show checking out a preview for Epcot's Flower and Garden Festival.
And everybody knows I love the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival, and we were there for 2 days, probably about 6 hours each day, already previewing it, and we'll be there this week too, a couple days.
Beautiful weather those days.
Absolutely gorgeous, yes.
Especially after 2 days of rain and gloom, it looks just wonderful.
Right, I mean the flowers really popped after all that rain, and here is Eric Darden. We talked to him. He is the Horticulture Manager of the festival. And this year you team with the National Park Service for the Ranger Mickey Topiary,
right.
which is connected to the Chippendale Topiary that you've told us about on the back side of that. How did that come about?
Yeah, well, we knew we wanted to have Ranger Mickey, and we also knew that we wanted to make him this photo op where you can get a picture with Spaceship Earth in the background, but that means we needed something in the front of the bed. Well, the natural thing to do was Chippendale. First of all, the environment of the national parks fits them with the outdoorsy thing, and then it was just too easy to do, Chippendale. They're always pranksters. While Mickey's there doing photo ops, they've gotten to his lunch, rifled through his lunch, eaten one of his apples, and stolen his sandwich.
And I think in the next couple of days, we'll see the whole display change just a little bit to reflect that.
I think Chippendale are in a much better location this year. If you remember, last year they were sort of on the way out. You didn't really see them. You kind of walk by coming in, and it was always dark on the way out. And they're so small anyway.
Right.
So I think this really showcases them. And we'll show you where that apple is that Eric was talking about when we see Mickey again.
Well, the apple isn't there yet, but
where it's going to be in his
is,
lunch bag. So
and
to speak.
I love Chippendale. They're so little. Like when they have the Huey, Dewey, and Louie topiaries up front, they're going to be like my size.
Oh,
like
bigger. They're going to be huge.
Absolutely.
Remember Goofy? How big Goofy is?
Yes. So they'll be much bigger.
So there is the lunch satchel. The apple will be right there. So it'll really set up that little gag nicely, I think.
I think it's terrific, and we were also I don't know if he just told that, but there's going to have rangers here, so I don't know if they'll have them on opening day, if they'll have one on the first day or not, but I hope so.
Yeah, we had heard that they'll have the park rangers there under umbrella talking to people, so that'll be pretty cool. Phineas and Ferb have returned once again. They've been there for a number of years now, maybe 4 or 5 years.
A while, yeah, and the nice thing is this year with the topiaries, like the Huey, Dewey, and Louie up front, they're going back to the classic characters a lot, like Chippendale last year, and then them. The Phineas and Ferb and the Pixar topiaries were so much newer.
Speaking of classic characters, here's Minnie and Pluto, and we learned that this little flower arrangement in the middle was a very last minute thing. They put them in a few days ago, and when Eric saw a picture, he thought they needed something. It was kind of empty, so they came up with that little planter. And we've seen that at Disney Springs. It used to be called Downtown Disney, the little thing in the middle there.
Right, the planters. And I wouldn't call it last minute because they change it. Over the 90 days, anything can be added to the topiaries, which is one of the most wonderful things about it is it's going to evolve for 90 days.
Right, and here we're looking at Bambi, and I love the detail in the faces. They've gotten more and more expressional over the years, wouldn't you say?
I think so, and they are also out during Christmas a lot of times.
All three of these guys are out front during Christmas. That we always see.
So we see them usually a couple of times per year. They were in this exact location last year also. And here, Pooh has changed. Pooh, Tigger, Eeyore, they have all changed places this year.
Right, and where they are now is a much better place. You can get close to them, better for pictures. This was a very good move, I think.
There are times when I'm kind of disappointed because, like, Lady and the Tramp have been in their location for 4 years or so. But then as they start adding more topiaries, you can see that some of them do change places.
Right. And the lighting, I think, will be better in this area for photos as well.
Well, I really like it because they're just kind of apart. So if you want to take pictures of one, there's 4 different locations, right? Is it 4, Tigger, Pooh?
Correct.
Or, to take them. And then Peter Pan here is on top of the UK pavilion.
Right. Peter Pan has been there for a number of years as well. This is the same exact location for him.
Right. And I think for a few years. And TikTok, Croc, and Captain Hook are below, and this is at the Sportsman Shop.
I remember a few years ago they had a Captain Hook that came alive.
Yes,
that
was
was
weird.
wonderful. I thought that was really cool. So I had a dream actually about these topiaries coming alive. It wasn't a nightmare either. I thought it was real when I woke up. So I don't know. I must have been hanging around the flower festival too long.
And the Captain Hook used to have like no face. They've added faces to some of them. Also, he always looks a little bit like he's had too much to drink. TikTok Croc there with the red eyes.
I think the real TikTok kind of looks like that. So
Is
he's
it?
a little crazy. He's he's trying to get the captain there.
And there's Cinderella and Prince Charming. I believe this is the second year in this location. Beauty and the Beast used to be here, but they are in a where they were last year, so they swap
right where the perfume jars used to be, and we'll be seeing them in just a minute. I think this is a beautiful location though for them. I mean, look at this. Look at the background there. It's fantastic.
No, I totally agree. I like seeing when they move. These didn't, but I mean they're still fairly new to this area,
right?
From last year.
So here's the Beauty and the Beast topiary back there,
and we also will have I don't think there's Mrs. Potts, but we have Cogsworth and
no Chip,
Lumiere.
No Chip and no Mrs.
Right.
Potts as of yet. Who knows? Maybe they can sneak in somehow.
I don't know if there's a lot of room now, but here is Cogsworth and Lumiere, and they are near the wine shop and the arcade. And it's really nice to see them as well.
Yeah, a very fitting place. And remember, all this stuff is going to grow in. In a couple of weeks, there'll be big, thick, flower beds around them.
Right. Well, I mean, everything's going to change. And this is the longest year that they have had the Epcot Flower Garden Festival. It will
90
be a full
days.
3 months, which
Right.
is awesome. And, we get almost an additional month because it starts really a few weeks ahead of time with the plantings and then another week or so afterwards.
So you better go and pull a Woody's cord and
Yes.
see what he has to say.
And I think he was turned around a little bit from last year. There is Woody again. You can see his face. He also, Buzz Lightyear, both have the faces.
Right.
Not to the extent of, let's say, Elsa and Anna and Snow White, I don't think, but still sculpted.
You're right. Also about the location, he's facing Spaceship Earth. He's he's moved over a little bit counterclockwise.
We notice these things, like when they move just a little bit. And this is where the smokehouse will be for the festival. They do the outdoor kitchens. And there's Lady and the Tramp.
They have not moved in many years.
Like 5 years. They used to be. They have been in other areas before, but they love this setting.
I think they've always been in Italy proper.
I think so too, at least for many, many years. But this is about the 5th year in this exact spot.
And it's a great location for them. I mean, look at that. It's perfect. You get a little shade during part of the day. And you can see it was a little windy. Look at the tips of those trees there.
And I just, they really put so many flowers in Italy. And we moved to Germany already. There is Snow White. She is turned around from last year with the 7 Dwarfs.
Yes, and I think another good move because it's much better for the sun. I think she will be lit better the whole time. So it used to be she was all of them were facing the opposite direction. So if you're coming from Italy, you're going to see them looking at you. I think it's it's definitely a better setup.
We know the hand model for her too.
That's true.
I'm not going to say
I personally know that hand model. That's true.
And but she has a sculpted face. She was the first one who had really that level of detail, and then Anna and Elsa also. But I guess it's very difficult and very expensive to do and probably to maintain, so they really don't do it with so many of the characters right now.
Right. But more and more are.
I don't think anything new this year. At least not that we've seen. We haven't seen the front topiary yet, but I'm not sure who Huey, Dewey, and Louie are going to have that kind of face.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And there is Dopey, and they already have their lanterns. A lot of times they aren't quite ready when the preview goes in. They'll get their lanterns and their glasses, but everything looked pretty much on point.
Here is the Lion King section. There's Simba up there and being held by Rafiki. We just met Rafiki, a big surprise meet, and we'll be showing all that next week on the show. A lot of character stuff.
I love that. just happened to be there at the not International Gateway, the Millennium Village, which is actually the World Showplace. So we got to see a whole bunch of characters, and that was a lot of fun.
Look at how beautiful, though. Again, I just love the detail of these topiary.
And Pumbaa and Timon are back in their location as well. All of these characters are pretty much the same. I don't remember if there's a tiny difference.
Timon seems to be on the same scale as Chip and Dale, where he's very small. Where as we said before, the front topiary is a completely we'll have to ask Eric what the official scale is. I think he mentioned that when we were talking to him.
I'm not sure I don't remember who told me, but somebody who we talked to said that the Huey, Dewey and Louie, I mean, I'm 5'4", so that's how, I don't know if it will really be that big, but they're supposed to be very large.
And we'll definitely have full coverage of the opening topiary next week, of course. Entrance topiary.
And the Easter egg hunt, which is going to be starting that same day, and then some other stuff too.
Very excited to see this.
This was
Bromeliad Dragon.
I couldn't believe it because we had been told this would never come back.
Eric told us.
Eric said he didn't. Okay, a couple of years ago, Eric said he didn't expect this back, but guest requests
demanded the return of the Bromeliad Dragon.
I love this topiary.
He's wonderful. He's on our calendar right over there.
Yes.
See, there he is.
He is one of my favorites, and he wasn't doing the steam or the smoke, but I am just so glad to see him back.
Well, Eric said it was an expensive fix too, so guests must have really demanded it hard.
We told him we really wanted to see it back, and I never expect to see it back again. And here is Anna and Elsa. They are in Norway.
They've been out ever since last year's festival, though, pretty much. I mean, they were at Disney's Hollywood Studios out front
for a number of months.
Yeah, most of the time, except for when the Christmas tree came.
And you can see they have that sculpted face, and I believe the faces aren't like plants. Like everything else is like plants, but I think the faces are not.
Right. We learned that last year. They are actually painted on there.
Something a little different. I should ask about that too. But that's the one area on them that doesn't really grow. So, but it's still really, I like the faces. I think, when you look back over the years of the characters without any faces, they don't look so real anymore.
Festival Center will only be open Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, but of course we'll have to go there next weekend to check them out.
I hope we'll have time to do it next weekend.
We'll make the time.
Yeah.
At least a little of the time.
I really like making the plants there, and I'm just disappointed. I really like it when it's open every day.
I know. And here's Buzz Lightyear. Buzz was a little bit in the shade, but we did the best we could, and this is his usual position.
Right. For a few years now, and there is Sorcerer Mickey for Fantasia, and we have the other characters also from Fantasia here. This is a second year they've been here, and one of my favorite things about the Flower and Garden Festival in the last couple of years is that they're going into the
Future World.
Well, not just Future World, but into the like an event. I was going to say Communicore.
Yes, Communicore. It's okay to say Communicore.
Communicore West. They're heading into there, and they're actually doing quite a bit over here this year, more than I ever remember them. Usually this area kind of doesn't get too much love, and you don't only have the topiaries, but you have gardens and such over there too.
Right. I wonder if they will have anything tying into the new film, to Zootopia. Like last year, I think they had the Inside Out.
Well, the sand, if they have any sand sculpture, that would probably be, I don't think they're going to have anything else, I wouldn't think.
Ostriches, and of course I love the mushrooms from Fantasia. Mm-hmm. And again, they remember at one time they were outside the entrance.
I do remember that.
Cool.
Yes. So it's nice that they use them. These are all in pretty much the same area that they were in last year. But again, I'm just happy that there's anything over at Communicore West.
Communicore West. We should keep that alive. I'm glad we keep that alive.
And the floating flower planters went in a number of days ago, and you can see we always love to get the monorails in video and photo form.
Well, everything looks beautiful. Tune in next week. We'll have much more from opening day and beyond of the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival. Why don't you talk about this, though? Zootopia. You were at a special event, and you got to meet the characters.
Well, we had been invited to, it was like a junket for, like, I talked to Jason Bateman and to Jennifer Goodwin, like, about the film and the filmmakers. And I will be writing that up all this week. And then at a party after seeing the film, I got to meet the characters. And I took our friend Dave and his family. He's from WDW Guided Tours. And it was awesome. I just had such a great time.
Can you believe I turned this down
He did.
to go to Daytona?
He went to Daytona.
Unbelievable. I should have gone. It looks like a great event.
And I just loved meeting the characters. It was a very short event. I think it was like an hour total for the after party. And I wanted to get the characters first before I got any kind of dinner or anything. But they were so awesome, and I hope they will come to the park.
Well, I can't wait to see the film with you tomorrow night, and I can't wait to meet them. I'm sure they will come here at some point, although we've been saying that about Joy and Sadness,
yes.
and they have still not materialized
They're supposedly
stateside.
coming.
They were in Hong Kong, at least, we know that.
Well, they're supposedly coming, and there
you are. There you are.
I just really enjoyed meeting them, and they're great characters. I can't really talk about the movie because I'm not supposed to, but I still liked it really a lot.
Well, speaking of Zootopia, here is a little scene at Disney Springs.
Disney Springs, and you can have your picture taken in
That's
front of this.
That's where the Star Wars used to be, and as you can see, the
This
Disney
is
Springs has a
today.
water tower. This is earlier today.
Right, I was out and I took some photos of the water tower, and I put.
Look at how nice that looks.
It looks really nice. I put an article on Mousesteps about what was going on at Disney Springs today.
Well, Disney Springs looks better and better every time we go there. You could still see it says
Visit Disney Springs, Florida.
Very nice.
So
Very nice.
I thought it's all looking terrific. I just can't wait for it to be fully open. I don't know when it will really, really be fully open.
There were rumors that the water tower from Disney's Hollywood Studios was coming over there, but I never it would not have really fit the theme
right,
of Disney
or the
Springs.
sorcerer hat or something.
Right. But this sort of confirms it definitely would not be moving, and that would be very difficult.
Yes.
So look at the springs, look fantastic, by the way. I love the blue water.
Oh, I totally agree, and I kind of really look forward to it finally really opening.
Did you notice were all the walls still up today?
Yes, all the walls are still up, and even once they open this area, I believe that's Sprinkles. They're supposed to have an ATM.
I saw that ATM
machine.
Sprinkles.
I don't
yes.
even know anything about that.
So let's talk about Bands, Brews, and Barbecue. Bands, Brew, and Barbecue.
This is over at SeaWorld, and I was there. Jeff was not there. That was the same day as the Zootopia event. And, I couldn't see the concert, but I was able to check out the food items.
And you interviewed the
chef, Hector, yes.
Chef Hector.
And here we're about to talk to him.
And I'm about to get hungry because this stuff looks real good. I can't wait to go this weekend. I think we're going to go and see the Steve Miller Band.
Yes, I can't wait.
Me too. Oh, here he is.
How you doing? How are you? My name is Hector Colon. I'm the executive chef over here on SeaWorld Parks Orlando, SeaWorld Aquatica and Discovery Cove. And I'm the chef of the festival, the beer bags and barbecue. And this year, unique things that we're going to be bringing the Pooh Pork Sundae. The Pooh Pork Sundae is something unique that is just only like having a brownie with ice cream and all those stuffing, but it is all savory. It's all about the cornbread, the sweet cornbread, the Pooh pork, the slow roasted Pooh pork, the baked beans, the coleslaw, and the barbecue sauce. And we have the cone, we got the waffle cone, we got the brisket that is cooked overnight, at least 12 hours, to make a really nice tender flavor for all that smoke flavor get inside. And this is what we have over here. We're gonna have the barbecue sliders, we're gonna have the frito bag, we're gonna have the apple cobbler cones, we have the buffalo wing, the buffalo chicken pizza. Look, we have the smoked chicken, we have the ribs, we have the sausage, we got barbecue burgers, and look, we have some unique special all the way around the park. It's not about having food on the pathway, it's all about having a festival all the way around the park. You can come to the pathway, enjoy some of the food, have some of the beer, get some of the music, plus you can go around the park and enjoy different food with the same kind of flavor towards barbecue.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Boy, everything looks great, and there's only one more weekend to check out the Bands, Brew, and Barbecue, so we will look forward to next week.
Absolutely.
So, that is another show.
That's another show.
Want to thank our sponsors, PixieVacations.com.
And Maple Leaf Tickets.
And Theme Park Connection, our original sponsor. Thanks, everyone, for listening, and have a great week.
Have a great week.